From the small-town streets of Virginia to the bright lights of the NFL, Dontayvion Wicks has been turning heads with his talent, speed, and fearless play on the field. Known for his explosive catches and game-changing moments, Wicks isn't just another wide receiver. He's a rising star with a story full of grit, determination, and unrelenting drive. But his journey wasn't handed to him. Every step, from his standout days at Virginia to being drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 5th round, was a test of skill, heart, and perseverance. Today, we're diving deep into the life, career, and rise of a young player who's making a name for himself in the NFL and showing the world what it takes to turn talent into triumph. If you think you know Dontayvion Wicks, think again. This is the full story, his highs, his challenges, and what makes him one of the most exciting wide receivers to watch in the game today. Dontayvion Wicks grew up in the warm, humid air of Plaquemine, Louisiana, a place where football wasn't just a pastime, but a language spoken in every household, every school hallway, and every neighborhood field. Born on June 16, 2001, his journey began on those small-town patches of grass, where the boundaries of a field were marked not by white lines, but by imagination and competitiveness. From early on, he showed a rare combination of raw athletic talent and a kind of stillness under pressure that seemed almost out of place for someone so young. People noticed it long before he did. He looked like a kid playing a game, but he moved like someone who already understood he was preparing for something far greater. At Plaquemine High School, Wicks began shaping his identity as an athlete. He didn't confine himself to one position the way many young players eventually do. Instead, he embraced the challenge of learning multiple roles, spending time both as a wide receiver and a quarterback. That versatility didn't just give him more ways to contribute, it gave him a deeper understanding of the game itself. As a quarterback, he learned how plays developed, how defenses shifted, where pressure came from, and how timing controlled everything. As a receiver, he learned the rhythm of route running, the art of separation, and the feel of adjusting to a ball in flight. That dual perspective became one of the quiet strengths that followed him throughout his career. Coaches at Plaquemine often spoke about his maturity, his work ethic, and the way he processed information. He wasn't loud, he wasn't flashy, and he didn't chase attention. Instead, he carried himself with a calm, focused drive. Those qualities caught the eye of several college programs, but it was the University of Virginia that ultimately earned his commitment. For Wicks, choosing Virginia wasn't simply about football. It was about growth, stability, and an environment where he believed he could become the best version of himself on and off the field. When he arrived in Charlottesville in 2019, he was just another freshman trying to find his place in a world far bigger than the one he left behind. The crowds were louder, the playbooks thicker, the film sessions longer, and the competition sharper. But Wicks embraced the challenge. During his true freshman season, he saw action in 10 games, recording 3 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown. The stat line was modest, but what mattered was that he didn't shy away from moment. He used every snap, every rep, and every meeting to learn. Those early glimpses hinted at what was possible. Then came 2020, a year that changed everything for him. Before the season could begin, Wicks suffered an injury that forced him to sit out the entire year. For many players, losing a season can be discouraging, sometimes even derailing. But the setback became a turning point. Forced to watch from the sidelines, he studied the game more deeply than ever. He immersed himself in film, rehabbed with relentless discipline, and waited for the day he could return, not discouraged but hungry. When he came back in 2021, he wasn't just improved. He was explosive. He transformed into one of the most dynamic receivers in the nation, starting 11 of 12 games and posting 57 receptions for 1,203 yards, a school record, and 9 touchdowns. Week after week, he delivered plays that electrified crowds and frustrated opposing defensive coordinators. He had become the type of player who didn't just win routes, he took over games. His performances earned him first-team All-ACC honors, validating everything he had worked through. For Virginia fans, Wicks had become a star. For scouts, he had become a rising name they watched closely. His journey to the NFL, however, wasn't built on hype or spotlight moments. It was built on resilience, the ability to adapt, and the quiet confidence he carried through every stage of his development. When the 2023 NFL Draft arrived, teams recognized his potential, but not all of them understood what kind of competitor he truly was. Some questioned whether his one breakout season was enough. Some wondered about his consistency. But the Green Bay Packers believed in the player and the person he could become. With the 159th overall pick in the 5th round, they called his name. When Wicks walked into the Packers facility, he entered a franchise known for its history of developing receivers, its demanding expectations, and its passionate fan base. He signed his rookie contract on May 5th and immediately set out to prove he was not just another late-round pick fighting for a roster spot. He wanted to show he belonged. His NFL debut came on September 10th, 2023, against the Chicago Bears in a commanding 38-20 victory. He didn't catch either of his 2 targets that afternoon, but the moment wasn't about the box score. It was about stepping onto an NFL field for the first time, hearing the roar, feeling the speed, and understanding that everything he had fought for had led him to this point. Just 1 week later, he delivered the first signature moment of his professional career. On September 17th, in a tight 25-24 loss to the Atlanta Falcons, Wicks caught a 32-yard touchdown from Jordan Love, the first of his NFL journey. The route was sharp, the separation clean, and the finish strong. It wasn't just a touchdown, it was a promise of what he could become. As the 2023 season unfolded, Wicks grew more comfortable in the offense. He learned how to read NFL defenses, how to maintain consistency through long stretches of the season, and how to take advantage of every opportunity thrown his way. By week 18, he delivered his first multi-touchdown game against the Bears, a performance that capped off a rookie season filled with steady progress and flashes of brilliance. He finished the year with 39 receptions for 581 yards and 4 touchdowns, numbers that stood out for a 5th-round rookie in a developing offense. The postseason provided another stage for Wicks to show who he was becoming. On January 14, 2024, he scored his first playoff touchdown during the Packers' dominant 48-32 wild-card victory over the Dallas Cowboys. It was the type of moment young players often dream of: a national audience, high-pressure stakes, and a chance to be part of something unforgettable. Wicks delivered, proving once again that he wasn't intimidated by big moments. The 2024 season brought new challenges and new opportunities. Defenses had film on him now. They knew his tendencies, studied his routes, and prepared for him differently. But he continued to evolve. In Week 4, he recorded 2 receiving touchdowns against the Minnesota Vikings, showcasing his ability to create mismatches and win in the red zone. He finished the season with 39 receptions for 415 yards and 5 touchdowns. Though his yardage dipped, his impact remained significant, and the Packers increasingly saw him as a versatile weapon in an offense growing around a young quarterback. Through the ups and downs, Wicks stayed true to the traits that had carried him from Plaquemine to the NFL: humility, work ethic, and a deep love for the game. He never acted as though he had arrived. He didn't carry himself like a finished product. He viewed every season as another step in a long journey, another chance to grow, another opportunity to become a player capable of influencing games at the highest level. His story isn't defined by dramatic headlines or flashy controversy. It's defined by persistence, steady improvement, and the belief that greatness is built, not given. He fought through injury, overcame doubts, and continued to show that where a player starts in the draft means nothing compared to how he prepares, how he learns, and how he performs when the moment arrives. As his career with Green Bay continues, Wicks stands as one of the most intriguing young receivers in the league. He has the size, the athleticism, the route-running intelligence, and the mentality to carve out a long, successful NFL career. And he has something more, an understanding of the game shaped by years spent mastering multiple positions, surviving setbacks, and thriving under pressure. Dontayvion Wicks is still writing his story. But the chapters he has crafted so far make one thing clear: he is not done writing.